Stream. Boom, pull that up. Make sure it goes live on my little screeny screen. Oh, and it's live. Oh, God, it's on the wrong.
Son of a motherfucker. I goofed, dude.
That's not how you open the show, Brian.
No, it's not. I goofed. I got to start over because I
this could be a great opening to the show.
Well, you could leave it on that, but it won't be on my end, so I guess it doesn't matter, right?
My end is your end.
Yeah, I forgot about that. What the heck, dude? I got a mess going on over here
you're
now.
all sorts.
Undo record. There we go.
I do believe it's supposed to go hater enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Man, it was great though. Already. Our logo popped up and it's like, son of a motherfucking goddamn fucking. You sound like the dad from A Christmas Story.
Okay. I'm now
okay. All right, you do.
My end. Because I just wanted to see if it really comes through and stuff. Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 679.
The sexiest and most discombobulated podcast on the network.
Oh, man. So annoyed. I am so annoyed coming in here. Yeah, get this buzzing in my ear that I can't get rid of on my board or something. Tried various ways of troubleshooting. Nothing seemed to work so far, so...
Things are ship-shape, everybody.
Hopefully the recorded version of this, you won't hear the buzzing and stuff.
It's not coming on my end, and if my end is your end, we're good.
That sounds very weird.
What? If my end is your end?
Yeah, we're sharing an end. That sounds very very odd.
Sometimes you gotta combine highways, make super highways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
No, they've already been mushed together.
Right. You're right. Stream. They are just one now. You're right.
Your stream is my stream. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it. Yeah, right.
Boy. Oh boy. It's weird. We haven't had this issue in so long. And I can't. No, it's yeah. But this buzzing, it's like it's been so long since that was an issue we had to troubleshoot. I don't even remember how we resolved it before.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And I don't even remember what episodes it was around or anything to where, and I'm sure we probably didn't get into exactly how we solved it. So whatever. Yeah.
Like I remember the first time it was usually like power cables involved doing power cable shit.
Yeah.
And then for some reason we had the one that just wouldn't go away, and we bought the little box thing and it went away.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like I got rid of my board, and I still have it. I mean, if for some reason that board decides to, stroke out on you, I still have that little board.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you still have that.
Yeah, baby.
If not, Jen may still have a board I could borrow/buy off of her,
Or we do a karate tournament and have board breaks with those boards.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
I like it.
Let's go.
Or, like you said, we can figure out other workarounds that might work better.
Virtual cables are the shit. I'll let you know that.
Yeah. So fair enough.
Yeah. Anywho.
Anyway, yeah.
Besides all that,
Moving
how's
on.
it going, Brian?
Oh, not too bad, I guess. I finally got some phone calls made to get some appointments scheduled that I've needed to schedule for I don't know 4 or 5 months now.
Oh my God.
I still have more to do because I need to, I need new or go get my eyes looked at, and
they're just gonna stare longingly at them and go, "You're beautiful."
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's what you pay for.
Yeah, I just want the ego boost. In the end, she's like, "Do you want me to give you an exam for glasses?" Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, baby. Pat her on the cheek.
Yeah, yeah. I'm done here. You did good, kid.
I'm good, sweetheart.
Yeah. So yeah, it was weird though. It's like I called the dentist office a couple days ago, and I was like, "Hey, the last time I was in there, you guys were super short staffed, and you basically weren't doing anything but emergency stuff. Has that changed?" And the woman was like, "Well, I don't know who told you that." And in my head, I'm going, I was in the damn office.
Listen up, bitch.
It's like, unless somebody patient just decided to sit behind the desk or something, So I was like, well, and she goes, "Well, you'll have to call back after mid-October because we're booked through like early November." I'm like, okay, fine. So then yesterday I get a phone call and it's like, "Hey, it's so-and-so from the dentist office. You're overdue for a cleaning. Give us a call." And I'm like, "Hey, I literally just talked to somebody the day before and they said, fuck off for 2 weeks."
Go kick rocks, kid.
Yeah.
We don't love you no more.
So I had to go
toothbrushes at you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. That's what they do.
And not nice ones. They're just the cheap, hard plastic ones.
Yeah, with the
try to kill me with
bristles. Yeah.
Yeah, extra stiff bristles for throwing. Yeah,
dude, that needs to be a mascot for a dentist. So just a toothbrush named Stiff Bristles. He's like a detective.
Looks like it's gum disease.
Yes, man. See, gum disease strikes again.
I like Stiff Bristles. He might be a little too bristly for the kids, though.
Everyone loves a little.
You know what it is? They have a fun mascot for the kids. And then when you get a little older, when you don't get the kid shit anymore, now Stiff Bristles.
Yeah, now you get Stiff Bristles.
Yeah, because it's all business now. It's like, fuck you. We're not going to, you don't get to use the little cool mouthwash that turns color to show you plaque. You don't get to use the Hawaiian Punch toothpaste anymore.
Exactly.
It's Stiff Bristles and just paste flavored toothpaste.
Exactly. We got to make a mold your mouth. You don't get to pick the clay flavor. Nope. It's just plaster of Paris flavor.
Yeah. Yep. We add extra just awful to it.
Yes.
Like, oh wow, this seems pretty harsh actually, but okay.
Dr. Stiff Bristles.
Oh man. So yeah, I stopped in the actual office today and I'm like, what is going on here? Y'all are a mess. And I got an appointment scheduled for a few weeks from now. So it's like, all right, well, I'm glad there's that, but also like, why did this take 2 phone calls and a visit to sort?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez. Like, all right, whatever.
Because our medical system's amazing.
Well, I found out what it is. They have temps in there sometimes, and sometimes the temps will call, and they don't put anything on your record that they called.
Oh, temp services.
So like today when I go in, I'm like, yeah, I got a phone call yesterday. And the woman's like, you did? She's like, we didn't do any calls yesterday. Well, apparently they did because I showed her on my phone.
It wasn't from us, sugar.
Yeah. I'm like, well, it's funny because here's a voicemail from this phone number.
Stiff Bristles appears. Allow me to present Exhibit A.
Yeah. No. I started arguing with her. Stiff Bristles shows up and is like, is there a problem here? And I'm like, no, we're good.
We're good.
It's like, do I need to do some investigating? I'm like, slow down. Like, everything's good here. We're fine.
I will deplaque you till your gums bleed.
Yeah. He just flashes the inside of his coat a little bit. He's got like long toothpicks in there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, oh shit. He kills people. Like he uses floss as
garrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So minty.
Yeah, exactly. Some dude just smoking an alley like, why does it smell like winter green? Ah! Anywho.
Yeah. So, Made some chopped cheese tonight.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So
that sounds good.
Just did it inside though.
No, Brian.
Yeah, I know. I didn't feel like cleaning.
The gods of Blackstone frown upon you.
I know. I just didn't feel like cleaning that thing tonight. I was just trying to do it as fast as possible. So
it's not a chore. It's a gift to clean
Yeah,
the face of the Blackstone.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege to worship at the altar.
Yeah. You don't have to clean it. You get to clean it.
Exactly.
As all the mental health reframers would say.
Now you're getting it, dude. Now you're getting it.
Anyway, those were pretty tasty. So I made a shift because, like the traditional from the recipe I have, it tells you to slap mayo across the bread. And I was like,
no?
Like I don't love mayo. So I just did a little ketchup and mustard. I should just do a sauce.
I like the mayo on there because it almost like emulsifies the sandwich. It's wild.
Yeah. I'm not that big of a mayo fan, so it's I think what I need
spicy.
to do is just make up very so spicy. I need to just make up a little like hamburger sauce, like Big Mac sauce, and slang that on there. I think that'll be perfect for me.
Little mayo, little garlic powder, maybe a little onion powder, a little splash of George's.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Yeah, seems like a strong idea anyway. But yeah, turned out good. Because they're a no-brainer thing to make.
So tasty,
Yeah.
So we're doing white people taco night tomorrow, and I can't wait.
Oh yeah, gringo tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah.
Kids are coming over. We're making new D&D characters. Going to nerd out. So taco bars.
Gringo D&D character.
Oh my God! Now maybe.
They all have to be taco themed.
Hell yes.
White people taco
themed, yes. Yeah. I'm extra cheese and extra sour cream.
Oh, don't forget that lettuce too.
Shreddus.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Sure.
Cilantro, get out of here.
Wow, get out of here if you're weird weeds.
Radish? I don't think so.
Hell no.
Nope.
Was that the devil's left testicle?
Yep.
Yes, of course it is.
No burrito sauce. You're just putting, bottled taco sauce over the top of them.
Absolutely. In big and bold letters on that bottle, it just says mild.
Still too spicy for me.
And then that's like edgy.
Yeah, I'm watering it down. You get half the bottle used. I fill it up with water and shake it up. Like, whoo.
Then you can just make like 2% mild.
Yeah.
Like, oh hell yeah.
No, this is skim
mild.
mild.
You go down to skim mild.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Listen, you know how white I am.
Depends on what browser you open.
Yeah, right. It's funny. Kroger every once in a while would have like various barbecue sauces for like 50 cents a bottle. So I grab whatever they have on sale just because it's a way to try other brands.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I got a bottle of Tabasco barbecue, which is decent. Like I like it, but it's like, there's some times where, my whiteness takes over and I'm like, there's a little too spicy meatball for me tonight. So I like mix it with a little honey barbecue. Which reminds me though, remember like I used to put like Heinz 57 into ketchup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot.
Or like
about
I still
Heinz
do it with
57 sauce.
Yeah,
they
I
still
do it
that?
with. I have no idea.
Oh my God, I'm looking it up. Keep talking.
I'll mix in a little like Tabasco Chipotle into my ketchup sometimes.
Nice.
For a little kick. I assumed Little George's in there would perk it right up too, but I don't want to, besmirch George's by mixing him with what is it, Colonel Berman's ketchup or whatever. So
yes, exactly. Colonel Berman.
It's Berman's, but
fucking like Heinz 57 still exists, bro.
Okay.
Hell,
I haven't had that shit in forever.
Hell yes.
All right. I used to get it and put it on burgers when I would go to places like Chili's or something.
I just like I forget. Okay, here's what is Heinz 57 flavor by the internet. See what the internet says.
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Heinz 57 sauce has what amounts to a ketchup base, fortified with malt vinegar and seasoned with mustard, raisin, apple, garlic, onion, and other flavors.
Really? Okay. I would have never guessed
that either.
Especially raisin.
Yeah, that was the one I'm like, really?
Mustard, I might have guessed because it's got a little of that, mustardy.
I mean, garlic and onion are gimmies, but apple and raisin?
Apple I would have never picked either. Yeah, vinegar I would have probably grabbed because it is a little vinegar. You know, it's a little runnier than like a steak sauce or something.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. No, I was very much white peopling some salsa too. Yeah. My buddy at work was like, "Hey, do you like salsa?" I'm like, "I do." And I happen to have a jar of hot honey. I'm like, "Do you like hot honey?" Yeah. I do. So we traded.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's a little spicy." I think he said 3 ghost peppers in it, and then like jalapenos in it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll come home, get some chips. Fucking, like, I ate like 2 or 3 chips, and I was just like, I'm dying. Right. So last.
You should probably quit making chips out of ghost peppers.
I guess, but if you have them,
you just dry them and use them like they're nachos. Oh man.
My God. Well, so I'm like, all right, I need to get a jar of like regular salsa, and then like cut it like it's Colombian cocaine.
Right. You know? Exactly. Yep.
So, dude, I got a bowl. I came up from work. I'm like, oh, chips and salsa sound amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
I get a bowl and I spoon out the mild salsa into it. Get the little jar of this like devil's semen I have here.
Right.
And I go to like pour it, and it's real thick, and I get the spoon out, and before I can get the spoon there, the whole jar just goes it's just into the bowl.
Like it's a can of cranberry jelly.
Yeah, the whole thing just, I was like, fuck. So I'm like, all right, so I add more mild salsa to it, mix it up. I have this huge like bowl of salsa now. Right. And I go out and sit out on the front porch, and I'm munching chips, and it's still too hot.
Right.
Like I ate as much as I could. I'm out there like crying, and my nose is running and shit.
Yeah. It's sad when you got to introduce sour cream on top of it.
Really, I didn't think about that. That would have been nice, actually.
Yeah.
But then,
because you need some dairy for sure to kill some of that. Yeah.
So I get my canning funnel, and I just put salsa back in the jar, and now it's like this turbo hot. It was. And I had to buy a bigger jar of salsa, and then start mingling that. It was insane. You know,
you're slowly
that's
watering
exactly.
it down,
it's basically. I mean,
dilute,
because the flavor, it's really good salsa,
right?
But it's just nuclear,
right? That's really
and I
funny.
like hot stuff, but I have my limits.
Right.
Oh my God,
that's my thing. Is from over the years of my tummy not caring for hot stuff, my tolerance for it is so low, and it sucks because there's times where I'll kind of push it and be like, this tastes really good, but it's above my comfort level. Yeah. And it's like, I know I'm gonna hate myself later for this, but it tastes good.
Have you played Dave the Diver yet, Brian?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so you know how things get way worse and you kind of panic if you dive a little too deep?
Yes.
That's what you were doing.
Yeah,
you were diving too deep.
It is. Yep. That's why with that, and that's the thing, is like there's probably people that like try that Tabasco barbecue and be like, this is just a nice spicy kick, and it is most of the time.
For sure.
But every once in a while, I'll taste it and be like, yeah, this is not one of those nights. Like, I need to, I guess a little honey barbecue, or the one day I just took a little ketchup and put it in there just to, because the sweetness of the ketchup kind of tamed it down a little bit for me. But it's like, I hate to do that.
Like, I like Tabasco flavor, but their sauce, it's almost like chewing on glass. It's like stabby
delicious
heat.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem. Yeah,
and I'm not a huge fan of ones just like, here's pain.
Right, and I'm like, I'm just trying to enjoy my chicky tendies. Like, I'm not trying to die or have an explosive asshole. I mean, it's like, I'm just trying to have some chicky tendies.
I'm not trying to pat my back here, but that hot garlic honey on chicky tendies.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm sure. Yeah, I did a little of it last night. I did a little on just did a little on the plate. I was gonna do a drizzle, and I was like, nah, because the honey will get up. It's a situation.
Honey.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll just put some on the plate, and I did a little dipsies in there, and it's strong. I bet on a sandwich it'd probably be delicious too. Just a chicken sandwich.
I made one. Yeah. It was awesome.
Or a wrap or something like that.
My dude at work told me today he put it on salmon. He said really? It was amazing. I'm like,
okay.
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Thank you.
I just, once again, I have to be a little careful of it because my my tummy.
Not that I'm trying to give anything away, but I do have one jar left that I need to put a stamp on for somebody.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Anywho.
First caller at 1-800.
Dude, do you remember when we had a phone number?
I do, yeah.
I kind of miss that shit.
Yeah. In fact, one of our graphics on, I don't know if it was on our Twitter or if it was on it was on one of our profiles. I remember the picture I used. Oh, it's still on the one that shows up for our, like when I post we're live on YouTube.
Oh, really?
It's on the side of the van. Yeah. Cause the unicorn van doesn't have, Tiny Tim in the window. It's still got the phone number though.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize I never changed it. I was thinking I saw it the other day. Oh, there it is. Yeah, our profile pic on Twitter still has it too.
Man, I mean,
for sure don't call it, people.
Yeah, that number,
we don't have it
yeah,
anymore.
that number does not belong to, I mean, fuck it, call it. See
it.
what happens.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, sure, why not? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you can, if you do want to leave us voice stuff, you can just email it to us and we'll figure out how to play it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that was part of the reason we just let it go, because it was like, this is kind of pointless because people can just send us voice messages.
Yeah. It was cool though.
We were doing it like we weren't broadcasting live, but people were just calling us during our recording and we would just talk with them.
It was fun
because we had a couple of them early on where it was just people we didn't even know.
Yeah.
We were like, we have no idea who this is. And a few of them went a little sideways. Like, I don't know if you remember the one dude that was like high off his ass talking to us about like Madden or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Dude, that was a long time ago.
I know. It's so long ago.
So I got to say, my man, Sam Adams, non-alcoholic, just a haze, is really good.
Oh, are you still Johnny No Alcohol?
Yeah, I mean, I got something I got to show you that might blow your mind.
All right. Is this going to be okay to show on
of course,
broadcast?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Didn't violate YouTube's terms or anything.
I fucking hope not.
It's just full asshole.
Yeah. Does this violate these terms, bitch?
Oh, God. Fruit bowl.
No, I went to the store and I was like, well, let me see what they have at Food Town. And I saw the 6-pack of this, which is only like $10. It's not bad.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let me try it because I love a hazy and it tastes pretty good. Mm-hmm. Once again, though, there is a stark difference between like an M43 hazy and this.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know if it's got to do with the brewing process. I don't know. But there's a difference. Also, you know, these things are so crushable. If these were boozy, I would whack down like 4 or 5 of them. I might have 2 and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Something with the booze, I guess, right?
Must be.
But
well, there's no, you know, I don't know. I don't think beer math applies to nabs or no non-alcoholics, does it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Right. But so I'm walking out of Food Town. After work, I plop the groceries in the seat next to me and sit down. And I look over and I'm like, I can have one of these right now. So I just cracked it, started drinking it, and started driving home.
Oh man. You really should look into the laws just to make sure. But yeah.
I mean, I feel like if it was illegal and I got pulled over, I feel like I could get a warning. Just be like, oh, like off. Exactly. Like, you seen these sweet lips underneath this walrus stash?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were meaning something down south. Okay. Right. All right.
But yeah, so, I mean, you're probably right. Maybe I should look into it before I just start like having road sodas.
It's funny and all, but it's just one of those things where it'd be like, it would suck if you ended up with like $150 ticket or something off of it. You know what I mean? Like some bullshit like that.
But it says non-alcohol on it.
Yeah.
It's
like, you sassing me, boy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just getting
stiff bristles.
Just getting beat down. Yeah, by stiff bristles.
Yep. That's his day job. He's a cop.
Of course he is.
He does the detective work, for fun.
For funsies.
Yeah.
But no, it's like I got a guy I work with that's, I guess he's taking some meds that are like really affect your liver.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, I'm really not trying to drink. And I told him about this stuff.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
And he was like, huh. And I was like, you know what, dude, I'll bring you like 2 tomorrow. Cause I got a couple different, types.
Right.
I'm shopping around. I'm curious.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's helpful too. Cause then he doesn't have to buy 6ers to find out.
Exactly.
A lot of the well, I don't know if the liquor cabinet, I don't know if you can do like a build your own 6er off.
That's, I tried going to Joseph's to do that.
Yeah.
And because they, well, yeah, I was texting you guys when I got home.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good selection there,
Mm.
but they don't have singles.
Oh, that's too
Because
bad.
I know like Busch makes one.
Yeah.
Coors makes one. Obviously Heineken. And I kind of want to try some of the lagers like that, but I don't want to be locked into like a 6-pack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As silly as that sounds, but
it stinks that they don't have singles just for that reason. It's like, hey, once I find what I like, I'll, I could keep buying it, but I don't.
Because
like you said, it's like I don't want to buy a 6 or a 10 of something and be like, well, this is awful.
It's like any time in the past I've been like, all right, let's do Sober October this year or whatever.
Yeah, October. That sounds more like a Russian skater or something.
It really does. And goalie October.
Yeah. Oddly enough, guy who outdrinks everybody. He drinks like Andre the Giant.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, so I would drink a lot of, like sparkling waters or diet pop, or waters with the powder in them. And I'm like, I'm trying to get away from a lot of the fake sugars if I can, and the weird colorings. And if I could just drink Neo, if I could drink these, that's fucking great.
I'd rather drink those too.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw that like Mio, I think it is, has a couple of them now that are finally like clear.
Pilsner lager. Oh.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine it?
Mio stout.
It has hazy on it. Oh,
yeah, well, it is hazy summer.
Yeah. It just makes the water hazy. That's all it does. Like I could have drank tap for that.
Yeah, no shit. I've had some of those weird water additives that did kind of make it hazy, weird floaties and shit.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like it.
No, me either.
No, but I'm like, this one is probably the best one I found so far to get that IPA fix.
Right. Well, it's nice that it's a hazy too, because hazy fall now.
Dude, I'm not obviously never will just go cold turkey on some drinks because I love beer too much.
Right.
But this is a really good substitute.
It's nice to have an alternate though.
For sure, because I don't want to always get whacked out of my brains, if I want to have a few
That's
beers.
why I said I don't think beer math applies, because after a couple beers you're like, I'm kind of feeling maybe I'm going to chase a little buzz tonight, and after 2 or 3 of those you're like, all right, I'm
satisfied.
Yeah, it's like I'm not dehydrated and I'm clearly not going to get a buzz from 0.000% or something.
I mean, boy, it'd be hard to do that, but I think you could try.
Yeah.
Be like so bloated. Oh
my god, that's your new goal, man. That's the new Patreon bonus. Is Tony tries to find out how many non-alcoholics he has to drink to get drunk.
And you know what I wonder is, when you're drinking, as soon as you break that seal, it's just like,
it's a mess,
it's just piss for days.
Yeah.
And with these, because they're non-alcoholic, I don't think you really get that whole you got to have that water flowing through you.
Yeah. Right.
It's weird.
Also, it's nice drinking those. You don't have to throw a spacer in.
Yeah, it is a spacer. Shit, this would be a good spacer to order at a bar.
It would be. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if you're 5 in and it's like, should probably throw water. You're
like
in
13
here.
or 14 deep, a couple shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me all the haze, please.
Yeah. Give me a shot of water, would you? You know what? Make it a double.
Dude, I never thought about that though. Like an NA beer would be a good stealth spacer.
Yeah, because you're still drinking a beer, especially if you're like, hey, give me a pint glass.
Yes.
Because it's gonna look like you're still whacking beers down. I think that's why probably there's some people who are, trying to fit in, but also trying to cut back. That, like you said, that'd be a great like my dad used to drink air quote Jack and Cokes, but most of it was just Coke.
Yes.
I mean cocaine, of course.
Well, of course. Old school.
Yeah.
That's the original formula.
Yeah, it was just a glass of cocaine.
Yes. One ice cube.
Oh my god.
I prefer my cocaine neat, but do you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, no, but he would tell a bartender at times, be like, hey, and if anyone comes up and wants a Jack and Coke for me, blah, 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 like just give him a Coke and I'll pay you for it, basically,
right.
And tip them real well. That way he wasn't. And I was like, when he told me that, I'm like, weren't your friends ever like, how are you like 12 deep and you're not off your ass? You know, they're like, geez, this guy
like,
here, man, he can drink anybody under the table. He's got diabetes like a motherfucker, but he never gets drunk.
Dude, his insulin's fucking whacked out right now.
He's lost both of his legs, but man, can this guy
Holy
drink.
shit. Oh, fuck.
He said usually what would happen though is the guys he hung out with, they were getting drunk, so they
don't notice.
They're not paying attention anymore.
They just look over. Like if you have a drink, you're good.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they see you without a drink, they'd go get you.
Yes. Or if they see you with water, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why, he's like, I would just kind of nurse it because people be like, well, there's Jack in there. You don't, you're not just generally slamming those. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
if you're
it's like the old,
rookie.
Remember the old trick where you put your thumb over the beer bottle and look at me drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the classic dinner move.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh my God! You just gotta move the. Yeah, I was gonna say do the TV move where you're just cutting food and moving it around on your plate, but you're not actually eating.
Good times.
Or have the spit bucket they have on TV.
Right in a napkin.
Right. Unless you're.
I did it as a kid a couple times at my grandma High's house.
I forgot what podcast I was listening to. There was an actor that was talking about that. Like on his first set, he didn't know that you were supposed to spit the food out, and he just kept eating and eating.
Like, guys, I'm stuffed.
There was a TV show that did that bit, but it was with somebody who was doing like a booze commercial, and they didn't realize you're supposed to spit the booze out because you're doing like 30 takes. Yeah. And they just kept doing the shots of the booze.
Or when I don't remember what wine company it was. Do you remember that commercial for Orson Welles? And he just gets progressively drunker as they're shooting it.
Which was probably because they were like, Orson, you're supposed to spit that out. Fuck you.
Fuck you. I'm the voice of what? Unicron.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Like spitters or quitters.
Yeah, exactly. What are you? Yeah, only if you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Roundhouse.
At the end of the day, he's carting off cases of the wine.
Speaking of spitters.
Oh my. I hope this is a Jurassic Park thing.
How is Hawk Tua Girls podcast number 3 in the nation?
I can tell you
world, I guess.
I can give you 2 reasons.
Sweet titties.
I think it is. Maybe. I don't know. She was on Whitney Cummings' podcast, and Whitney Cummings has been like a big pusher of hers. She was also on Rogan's podcast.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
So, yeah. And, from what from what I've seen of her social medias at times, it looks like she's a fairly genuine person. Like, she doesn't look like a real asshole. Who knows? But you know what I mean? So maybe people are endeared
by that. I mean, like, obviously, I'm trying to.
Also, I don't know if she has guests on there, but that could for sure make a big difference.
Yeah, I've seen
if she has famous guests.
The screen cap I saw of them saying like Hawk Tua, third in the world.
Yeah, it was like the number 3 podcast the last time.
Yeah, and I was like, what the? Yeah, and I mean, good on her for her taking a viral thing and running with it. But at the same time, I was like, God damn it! And where are we on the list?
I know. Yeah, we're not on the list.
Oh,
they just. We were at one time. Remember, we were doing okay for a little while
there. We were doing good.
I don't know what happened.
We should get her on the Enthusiast.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is people started actually listening instead of just downloading it. That was probably the problem.
That could be.
Yeah. I've downloaded 85 episodes of this. I should give one a listen. 5 minutes in. Oh my God.
It stinks and I don't like it.
Your podcast is bad and you should feel bad. Like, cool, thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't it's like we've talked before. It's like I don't begrudge her having, because you're right. Usually something like that, especially with the internet, man, that would have been hot today, cold as hell tomorrow, and it's over,
Right.
And, for her to have extended it into a podcast and maybe more, I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, I was kind of blown away by the thing.
Yeah. But it for sure helps when, she got lucky and then, like I said, Whitney Cummings really pushed her because she had her on. She had her on for one, I don't remember, it was 1 or 2 episodes, and then it wasn't too long after that they announced she had her own podcast, and I was like, I bet Whitney helped her
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Help that happen. And then, like I said, I saw Rogan had her on too, and I was like, yeah, she's getting rocket strapped. Whether or not it'll last, who knows, but good on her because I'm sure she's getting some cash out of it.
Strike while the iron's hot.
For sure, man. If we got that kind of, viral thing, I'd be like, dude, we're taking all offers basically.
I'm not gonna lie though.
It's probably gonna be over in a week.
Not gonna lie, I'm really glad I don't see her all the time. I'm a pretty girl, but get the fuck off my feed.
Yeah. I honestly, man, as much as I'm on like Twitter, I'd welcome it because it's all just fucking politics.
Oh well, I guess I generally don't go on the social stuff anymore.
Well, the owner of Twitter has a lot to do with that and stuff too. But yeah, so because man, have I been blocking people and unfollowing people, and it's just because I know it's not going to end after the election.
Yeah,
and it's not just. I'm openly a liberal. It's not just the other side. It's both sides annoying the living shit out of me.
Everybody sucks. That's what I know.
Yeah, because it's like it's always been such an echo chamber. It's like you're preaching to your own fan base on Twitter. You're not going to change people's minds, and it's like it's like I just don't want to sit and just be miserable by these posts all day.
What do you mean?
I care. I'm gonna vote. All that kind of shit. But you know what I mean? It's like, but fuck, dude.
It's like I want to look at funny stuff.
Well, I went to Twitter to originally get like a lot of my negative thoughts out of my head.
Yes.
The ones that happen overnight.
Right.
And then I started making jokes occasionally and whatever. And that's always been fun. And I still do that. But God, there's no interaction anymore.
See, that's weird.
It's like the best one I've had in I don't know how long. Maybe I just suck at writing now. Maybe that's all it is. I don't know. But the best one I've had in a long time got like 30 likes, and it's like, whoa.
Like, holy shit, people, here
so
I
I'm starting
come.
My own podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
30 like you or something.
Yeah. I got a whole line of t-shirts coming out. It was funny, speaking of launching a podcast, I don't know if you saw Marvel and DC lost the ownership of the term superhero.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I'm sure you remember that though, right? Like they were the only ones that could call their characters superheroes. Everybody else had to use whatever, meta-human or, whatever. They couldn't use those terms. And there's some company it's like Super Babies or something like that. And they sued basically stating that superhero is a genre and you can't own a genre. And they won.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Marvel and DC, could appeal it. At this point, I don't think that it's worth it. Originally, I can understand why they needed it.
There's too much stuff out there that's...
Who gives... They're both... especially Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel's
they're
just
doing
such a money
fine.
machine. Yeah. It's like, whatever. I saw our buddy Eric Palicki, former enthusiast guest, was like, like, think of all the superhero books we can write or something to that effect. And I was like, I want to start a podcast now just called Superheroes.
Yeah, right. Dude, we could do it and we just talk about submarine sandwiches. Or just sandwiches in general.
Yeah.
We do like sandwiches.
We do like sandwiches. We are big fans of sandwiches.
Yes.
But yeah, that's why I said, it was like, I saw this thing, it was like, breaking huge news. And I'm like, is it though? It's cool news for everyone except Marvel and DC. And it doesn't hurt them at all, really, at this point. Everybody, because their characters are still going to be called superheroes.
Of course.
So they still get that. They just don't own it anymore. But, whatever, who cares? Everyone was already calling other characters superheroes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It had the Band-Aid effect, to where even though it's Curad or whatever, some other company, it's like, you're still called a Band-Aid, It's like, no, actually, we're like, fuck you, you're Band-Aid.
Yeah, you're Band-Aid, you piece of shit. Now,
you're just another brand of
take
Band-Aid.
your pennies and put your head down.
Yeah.
Don't even look at me.
Right.
I'm gonna
spit on them.
I'm gonna play you a sound.
Okay.
Well, you might be able to see it. See,
I'm gonna see a sound?
No, I didn't know if you could see on and I wanted to know if you recognize the sound.
Okay. I mean, it's obviously a can opening, but
that little you didn't know.
No, I don't.
It's a Guinness, Brian. An NA
Oh,
Guinness.
I should have known because that. Oh,
yes,
Guinness Zero.
I have.
Have you had one of these yet?
But I wanted to have one so I could show you because
you're not like me and save everything for the podcast.
Yeah, well, I do sometimes, but not this time.
All right, that's weird.
But
right.
it's nitro and it does the thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. How's it taste?
It's good, but it's not the same.
Okay, fair. I feel like that's gonna be the measuring bar, right? Like it's if that's the worst, I think you're doing all right.
I mean it's drinkable for sure, but it's like
right. You just don't want one that's like, wow, this tastes like just open, sweaty.
But it's like there's something about it. It's not a Guinness. It's close though.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what if some clumsy hack did a little shamrock gimmick on top? Would that help sell it to you?
Is he wearing green?
Of course, because it's in some place called like
Does he go, hey, here's your weak ass beer, boy.
Once again, he works at O Irish's,
okay.
so probably.
Is he serving potatoes?
Obviously, they have to have nachos.
Of course.
That's a joke for like you, me, and Heno.
Exactly. But yes, it would taste better then, I assume.
Okay, fair enough. I'm surprised you don't have the little thing and do it yourself. You know.
Yeah, it is good, but ooh, that's a lot of chocolate on that drink. Actually, it is good though. It is, but it's not a Guinness.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, you're being recorded and or broadcasted. Okay.
Oh, I know.
All right, good.
I already got a warning. Yeah.
So we went up to Monroe over the weekend, my guy. We went and saw Beetlejuice.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, how was it?
Of course, amazing. Heated seats, perfect on a cold, rainy day. It was. Here's how I feel about Beetlejuice. It's a fun movie.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a good movie.
I've seen quite a few people say something really similar. That the criticism I heard was that there's a lot of Easter eggs for the original fans, but there's too much overall in the movie. Like they're trying to do too much, and it kind of clogs up the movie.
There's definitely some things I'm like, this is an odd choice of why you would do this because it doesn't seemingly add a lot. But
right. Like, do we need Beetlejuice's fruit bowl in this movie?
Duh.
Of course. Yeah.
But no,
it's what
it was entertaining.
Wanted for years.
You know?
Okay.
And
that's good, Brian, at least.
We've determined to at least once a month go just see a movie because one, it's it's good for Michelle because of the way the seats are. She could be comfortable.
Oh,
bonus.
Yeah.
But like we were sitting in the lobby. I'm holding popcorn and pop. She's in the restroom, and I'm just looking at the lobby of this movie theater, and I'm watching them make popcorn and make slushies. And one dude's out there sweeping up popcorn, and I'm like, man, the theater just doesn't get better than this. It felt like an old school vibe, right?
Okay. Right.
It
is kind of, I mean, it feels almost like an old concept now. Yeah. Even though people have still been going to theaters, they've clearly been struggling since pre-COVID even.
But then we're in the movie, and it's because you're in the...
Wait, you were in the movie?
I was. I'm in the background.
You played Beetlejuice's asshole, didn't you? Like a harp.
No, but we're in the movie, and it's like, it hit me as we were leaving that the whole time we're just locked into the movie. Because you don't have your phones out. Yeah. You should. I know some people do because they're addicts. But like her and I, if we were watching Beetlejuice at home, like she'd probably be on her laptop at the same time. I'd be pulling my phone out at the same time. And there was none of that. And it felt good.
Yeah.
So we're going to, especially because tickets are $5 for a matinee.
Yeah.
So I mean,
for sure.
For like $25, it's 2 tickets, popcorn, and a drink, plus we smuggle candy in.
Yeah, of course.
It's just a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of miss going to the theater. I never thought I would.
Yeah. I do a little bit. I think a lot of the reason I liked going was like going with
yeah.
people, because then you can talk after, and then usually like grabbing a bite to eat afterward or something like that. Because then you can sit and talk about the movie a little bit or whatever, But I for sure don't miss crowded theaters, or like assholes at the theaters. But that's
especially
that's
if I'm coming
the risk. Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. Yeah, because you go and see the movie a day before, so you can talk about it just ahead and laugh at every scene, or every joke right before they say it.
Beetlejuice regalia too.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I wouldn't mind that actually. Or what's his name? The character with the really small head.
Bob, Michelle is determined to make a bob head to put on her mannequin. Which I'm like, that's awesome because Beetlejuice house we usually do.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I think that we just got to find like a really big suit because Bob's like pretty broad. Yeah,
true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was good though. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't say it was fun. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. It was fun.
Yeah, there you go. And that's fine too. There's nothing wrong.
No, I don't regret seeing it, obviously. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the big fear, right? Is it's been so long, it's been blah blah blah. It's like just please don't shit all over my love of the original, basically. Just be serviceable.
And
at
they
worst,
did a really good job working with the fact that the actor who played her dad is a pedophile. So they did a really good job dealing with that too, which I don't want to give away. Yeah, but it was done very well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
that's for sure good. Yeah, because
he was a naughty boy.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be in the movie. Like, you just see some guy from a jail cell doing the scenes. Like, yeah,
he's obviously zooming in.
It's a weird way of shooting it. Yeah,
it's
very grainy and like this is a bold choice.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't remember the line from what is it? Is it from Dodgeball? It's like bold move Cotton. Whatever. Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. Cotton, that's what it is.
I think it is. I couldn't think of the
name. Yeah. Bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out.
So I did that, which is nice. I completely fucking annihilated my already not great toe. Bro,
awesome.
I was walking the dog. It's I like walking her at night.
Talking about doing yo-yo tricks, right?
Yeah, so naturally. Yeah. That's what happened. It was a really aggressive and heavy yo-yo.
I've seen you do tricks with your yo-yo. You're pretty aggressive.
Jesus Christ. So I didn't realize that a couple streets over, they're resurfacing.
Mm.
So the road I was walking on, unbeknownst to me, right in front of me, suddenly went up an inch. And it's it's dark, it's blacktop. And I like Bomber thought she was getting assaulted. Because I hit it and I'm just flying at her. And she, I could see the panic in her face still. Yeah. But I caught myself. I didn't fall, but I was just like, oh fuck, that hurt. And I'm like I was doing like Lamaze breathing, walking home. Because of course I'm about at the halfway point of my walk.
Yeah. Well, luckily you have a dog that's strong enough she could just,
Dude,
you can just hop on her back and ride
for
home.
Sure.
Yeah. left the saddle at home, didn't you?
So I'm getting home and it reminding me of Paper Route, Yeah, and like I can feel I know something bad is going on down there.
Right.
And like
right. You've just unleashed evil on the world is what happened.
The seal.
Yeah.
And I don't like wearing socks when it's warm out. So I get home and I look down and my poor hey dude, one has like a hole where my toe is. And it's just dark. And I'm like, that's blood. I took my shoe off. I split my toe. It was insane. Yeah. It was a great time.
That's a great time. So you put that on foot?
Yeah, of course. Right? Yeah. Fucking battle damage death toe.
Yeah. Right.
Be a sweet action figure.
Yeah.
Someone needs to make an action figure of my death toe. It needs to be like a barbarian with an axe and a sword. and then have battle damage version. Just saying.
Yeah,
but
of course.
yeah, dude, it hurt. I took a shower, put on a sock, and went to bed. And Michelle was like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, I took some aspirin. Next day at work sucked ass, but I put on my work boot. It was like a protective shell because my toe wasn't touching anything, like it was in my shoes, and things are getting better, Brian. But I
that's good.
Annihilated it.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I feel like shooting blood out of your foot. That was exciting.
Yeah. That's a weird mutant
worst power. X-Men ever.
Yeah. He's Professor X at the the introduction thing. He's like, okay, what is it that you do? I see your name is Death Toe. What is it you do? I shoot blood out of my toe.
Professor X is wheeling up to the building, and he's like, "Who fucked up my brand new welcome mat? Someone bled all over it. Who's the asshole?" It's his new student.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry about that. These Hey Dudes only can absorb so much.
Oh my god.
Like, cool, they were gray.
They're
only
red made
now.
Hey Dude pens, am I right?
Yeah.
I don't know MaxiPad companies, sorry. Because a MaxiPad is the joke to go with.
Right.
Brian, do you know MaxiPads? Why not?
No, I don't.
Way to let me down.
Sorry. I mean, I can make
I got one more thing, and then I will release the rings, because this one blew my mind. Sitting in traffic. Right. I'm the passenger. I haven't been a passenger in a while. But Michelle, she needs to drive a car more. We had to charge battery,
Right.
She's driving more. But
yeah.
So we're sitting at the light, and her and I are just, BSing. My window's like half down. And I hear, "Hey!" And I'm like, oh, fuck me. We're in the turn lane, so I'm like, I look over, it's just some old dude. Big white beard. Yeah. I see his hat, and at first I thought it was a MAGA hat, but it was actually a Harris hat. Yeah. I'm like, that's shocking, given the way this guy looks.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey." And I just, I make eye contact. I don't even say anything. I just nod. I'm like, And he's like,
yeah.
"What does a stoned egg say?" And I just I did a shoulder shrug, and I'm like, what? And then he just goes, "I'm lit." And then he just drives away. It was fucking amazing, dude. We got dad joked in traffic.
Oh man, dude, that needs to be the new TikTok.
Oh, it was incredible.
There's your hook, man. You just got to start driving up to people, dad joking them, recording
drive
it,
away.
and then drive off. I mean, stomp it,
I just couldn't believe that. I'm lit. Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty incredible.
Right.
I'm glad I got to experience that.
Yeah, that's for sure not something you would have expected.
No, not at all. Loved it.
Wow. Damn, you should have got that guy's info. We should have had him on the podcast.
He looked like Santa Claus.
Well, even better. Maybe he was Santa Claus. What if, come Christmas, you're sitting on his lap at the mall, and he's like, "Hey, I'll bring you a real gift if you can tell me the punchline to that joke." Like, no shit, you're really Santa? What you don't know is the animal, he just brings you some, roadkill or something. That's your present. It's like, well, I guess at least he thought of me.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Maybe because every time I've had one of these Guinness, I'm playing video games and shit. But I'm just kind of more focused on the taste, and it's really good. It's malty and chocolatey, and it's really weird. I need to buy another 4-pack. And then I think I'm going to do Sober October at this point, because why not?
Okay. Right. You certainly aren't going to. Well, you'd be doing Deadtober.
Right? But I kind of want to do a Guinness Zero side by side.
You need to dress up your toe as different horror monsters.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If I could get a little. That's why I need a 3D printer, ladies and gentlemen. I would print out a little fedora, print out a little Jason mask, print out a little Mike Myers mask.
Yes.
I would do all these things.
Oh my god, that'd be great. All right,
Patreon.com/saltylanguage. Help us fund 3D printers.
Yes.
Deadtober.
Right into November.
A few people demand it. Maybe we can make a calendar.
Right. I'm just thinking for November, you make a little like cornucopia thing with your toe in it, or a turkey. Like one of those hand turkeys, but it's with your toe instead of
busted bloody toe. Yeah, my toe looks like a fucking soccer hooligan.
Yeah. Perfect. Just got to tell it to quit headbutting the curb. Yeah.
Anywho, what do you got, man? I've just been over here babbling like a brook.
Oh man. Oh, I don't have a whole bunch, but I got a couple things here. I watched the Mr. McMahon doc series, and honestly, I knew most of it. There's very little that was like new in there, other than like seeing Shane McMahon talk about how basically all the crazy stunts he did stuff.
Whoa, the internet. The internet is fucking you right now, Brian. Oh no.
Make stars out of these people. We can. Oh,
yeah, geez, I lost you completely for a second there. Oh, I think I lost him again. Oh no. Why is tech failing us consistently? Brian? Oh my God. All right, I guess I'm going to have to click this "we'll be right back" button, and it's going to get fucky. Oh, wait, I see movement. I see movement. I cannot hear you, though. There is no, and I can't, no heary, no heary. He looks sad, and people. Actually, you're not showing up on the YouTube. You're only showing up on the Skype. We'll probably have to restart. Wah, wah. All right. I said it, though. We'll be right back. Yeah, that was weird. We're back, though, Brian. So, I'll be honest, on my end, you're like, everything I already knew except Shane McMahon. And I was like,
oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well, everything he did was basically to impress Vince.
Oh, that seems like some sort of weird dad complex.
Yeah. Oh, it is for sure. Vince had the same thing with his dad. He was always trying to get his dad's approval, so he rolled it forward. Lovely. You know. I was saying I didn't know they had a chance to buy UFC, and Vince did not see it as a moneymaker because he doesn't understand the sport. Shane loves UFC, and Shane was like, we've already got a promotion engine, a merch team. He's like, we can basically just take what they already do and make the fighters into stars and just merch the shit out of it and promote it the way they do, you know? And it does kind of make you wonder, but it's like, if it didn't have Vince's backing, it would have never worked unless, you know, because when they showed Vince, because Vince actually cooperated with them for a lot of this, but Vince also very much, anytime he was asked anything, pretty much was like, my character,
of course,
you know. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, his lawyers probably told him to do that.
Well, see, I don't like it, but Mr. McMahon loves shitting on girls' chests. Loves
dude,
it.
That was basically. Now, he cooperated with him until those allegations came out, and that was the end of him cooperating with him because, you know, his lawyers were probably like, please don't go do
Hey, Mr. McMahon, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing. That's the big takeaway from it, is that he basically is just like, I'd do anything for this business. And, my character was a terrible guy. I'm not a bad guy, but my character is a terrible guy. And toward the end, there's a great line from this one journalist. And he was basically like, for years we were like, oh, the Mr. McMahon character is just this horrible person. Right. And he goes, what we actually found out is that it basically was Vince. Like that there wasn't a stark line between the two. Like a lot of, like Stone Cold always talks about how the best characters in wrestling are when you're yourself, but you just dial it way up, and basically that's what McMahon did. McMahon was one of the greatest heels in wrestling history. Hulk. No question.
He never went back to being Banner.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can't go
he went full Hulk.
Yep. So, and that's part of the thing too, is, a lot of the stuff in there is just very common knowledge stuff, like stuff that's been out there about Vince for years. If you've watched any of the Dark Side of the Ring stuff, you probably already know most of it. The very last episodes basically where they start getting into the newer allegations, and they don't do a whole lot with that because I think around the time they were recording it, all that stuff was kind of breaking.
Okay.
So they didn't get a chance to go really deep dive on it. But, it was an okay watch, but it just, by the end of it though, you really, oh, that was my character, pal kind of thing is like, yeah, I think you're just a prick.
Like, is it your character or are you the character?
Right. I think at this point, it's right. Is Bruce Wayne Batman, or is Batman, Bruce Wayne kind of a thing? And I think it's the same thing here. And he's, he's no Batman, God, no. But yeah. So it's like, whatever. It's like, if you follow wrestling, you probably already know most of the stuff. There's a couple things here and there that are kind of like, oh, that's interesting or whatever. But, a lot of it's, like Vince, his business model was literally to steal talent from the other territories and then crush them by going into their area with the guys that used to wrestle for him. All their big stars. And then when WCW did that, obviously you remember that when they brought in Hogan and Macho Man and Bret Hart and all that kind of stuff, Vince was basically like boo-hooing about it. Like, oh yeah, they were doing it just to hurt people. I wasn't, it was just business when I did it. And I'm like, buddy, it's the same thing. And people, like, the guy actually asks him, he's like, don't you kind of see how that's hypocritical? And Vince is like, no, because Ted Turner was doing it to hurt me. I was just doing it for business. And I'm like, no, you just see yourself as above, fault, and you see everyone else as, wrong. So I was like, yeah, all he kind of did was, by the end of it, you're already like, this is clearly a deplorable human being. Yes, he's maybe the greatest promoter since Barnum.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue because, I mean, he took something that was making good money and turned it into a company that sold for billions of dollars.
With a B.
Literally their TV deal with Netflix is what, like $10 billion or something, or 50. I mean, it's some huge number, and they're putting butts in seats basically everywhere they go. I mean, it's hot money wise right now. It was probably more popular back in the Attitude Era, or even the Hogan era, but money wise, they're making way more money now because everything's streamlined.
Of course.
Yeah,
they cut a lot of fat.
So, yeah. But whatever. So it's like I said, it's one of those things. It's like, if you don't know about Vince, it's probably an interesting docuseries. If you already know about Vince, you probably already know most of the stuff in there.
That's right. He was a piece of shit. Anywho.
It for sure reminds you how much of a piece of shit he is. Honestly, one of the things that people were like, this shocking thing came out because they asked Stephanie, they're like, were there any storylines you wouldn't do? And she goes, yeah, there were some. And they were like, can you give us one? And she goes, The one I'm thinking of, I won't talk about. And then it cuts to Vince, and Vince goes, yeah, we had a storyline where somehow Stephanie gets pregnant. And he goes, well, I impregnate her somehow. And he goes, my character impregnated her. And I'm like, yeah, in your head, you were probably like, ooh, I'd love to fuck my daughter with them, new titties.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. McMahon loves those titties.
Fucking creep.
Vince is offended by it, but Mr. McMahon.
Mr. McMahon.
He wants to turn him into a chili dog.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I was just like when I heard that, I wasn't like, oh my God. I was just like, yeah, that sounds like a storyline. That
tracks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, if you were shocked by that
Brian
revelation,
turns a big board. Who had incest?
yeah. Everybody. Yeah. It's why I was like, yeah, if you've been following Vince McMahon and wrestling for a while, you were not surprised by that. If you were, you haven't been paying attention, because literally one thing about him is nothing is off the table initially.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he very much, when it comes to wrestling storylines, is a throw all the shit at the wall or chest and see what sticks.
Chest.
Allegedly.
His chest. Her chest.
But you know what I'm saying, though? He very much was like, let's see if any of this seems like a good idea. And then you have to talk him out of some of these storylines. Like, I bet the reason that storyline didn't go forward was flat out Stephanie going, fuck no.
Like, Dad, really?
And I'm shocked he didn't somehow make it like Sable or Trish Stratus instead, that somehow they get pregnant with his baby or something,
So weird.
Because, yeah, he especially in the Attitude Era, he loved to talk about balls and how he was a very virile man, So, yeah. Anyway, enough about that
Fair
bullshit.
enough.
But I started watching the creators of Dark Side of the Ring. The Rock got with him and was like, hey, it's cool you're doing all these dark side things.
What about some positivity?
There's a lot of he was like, there's all these great fun stories from guys from back in the day. Maybe let's show or talk about some of these. So it's a show called Tales from the Territories, and I've been watching that. And there's been some pretty good stories in there. Like the one I watched one last night, and again, I know most of this, but it was Jerry the King Lawler talking with other guys from Memphis about the Andy Kaufman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was like, dude, that still is maybe one of the greatest wrestling angles ever, because they kept it to themselves. Like, I didn't know, like, Andy Kaufman, when he got spiked by Lawler, when he got pile drive, and he was wearing that neck brace. He stayed in the hospital for 3 days and didn't tell the doctors that he was actually fine.
I mean, he goes with the bit.
He kept it kayfabe. Dude, Taxi started up a new season, and he wanted them to figure out a way to where he could still wear the neck brace in that season of Taxi, because he didn't want to take it off yet. And they basically were like, yeah, if you insist on this, we're going to write you out of the show. So he was like, well, I guess I'm going to take this off because this is my bread and butter.
I do like having money.
Yeah. Lawler said years later he met Kaufman's parents, and they were like, yeah, we hated you for years because we really thought you were trying to break our son's neck. He never told his family. I guess he didn't tell anybody. Like, he just 100% was part of it. And, King was talking about the Letterman appearance and how, he goes, I didn't think they were going to air it, but when he slaps the shit out of him, he goes, I figured that was, he goes, I'm in the dressing room, and he goes, he's like, then somebody comes back and was like, hey, Dave wants to know if you want to come out and wrap this up. And he's like, I guess. He's like, I'm thinking this is taped. They're never going to air this. And he's like, and sure as shit, as we all know now, they aired the whole thing. And even when Andy Kaufman came back out, and he just went on this like tirade against King and calling him a motherfucker and all this other stuff, they aired all of it. And then Kaufman was like, sorry for I know some of these words I can't say. It's one of my favorite things about it. He goes, I know you can't say some of these words on TV. And Letterman, after Kaufman walks off, goes, well, you can say some of those words. It's like, Letterman just trying to save it, But King said later on, he met, when they were doing Man on the Moon, he said Letterman was like, that show made us, because that was in Letterman's first year. And he goes, that put us on the map. And from then on, he said people always were tuning in because they didn't know what the hell might happen on our show.
Some comedian might get shit kicked out of him.
Right. Yeah. So not only did he do that for Letterman's show, but of course for for Memphis wrestling, they were filling up that Coliseum with like 10,000 people anytime Andy Kaufman was on the card. I was like, oh, that's so, it's cool hearing King finally, he told it in his book, I guess, but hearing him finally go, here's the whole story, all the steps of how we set it up and all this kind of shit, so, and my favorite one on there so far was a rib that they got on this guy that, these one guys, were in front of him or driving next to him and they mooned this guy. And then, the guys he was riding with were like, tell you what, like, you get in the trunk. We're gonna, like, we got to stop at like the toll booth or whatever. They're like, when we stop, we'll like honk the horn or tell you, you pop the trunk and you moon them to get them back. And he goes, okay. So he hops in the trunk, they drive.
Casual
and he goes,
trunk
they finally
ride.
Yeah, he goes, so finally, he's like, they're like, okay, now. And he's like, the trunk pops. He's like, I dropped my pants and he's like, I'm pulling my ass cheeks apart. He's like, only to realize that he's like, they backed up to the window at like a Stuckey's. So all the people eating were just getting a fruit bowl shot from this guy.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
So he goes, he didn't know it at first. And he said he had gotten out, like, he gets out of the car and he's like, and my pants are still around my ankles and I trip and fall and everybody's laughing in the restaurant. And he goes, so the next day he goes into work, at the wrestling promotion. And then on TV, the announcer was told to say that basically the people of the local town or whatever were happy to see Brian Blair visit their town or something to that effect, kind of just a little cheeky note about it, and yeah, I was laughing so hard.
That's pretty good.
Because I'm thinking, partway through, I was like, there's no way this is gonna, like, I'm thinking they're just gonna leave him in the trunk and drive to the next town with him in the trunk the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's a typical wrestling kind of rib where, oh yeah, hey, do this, brother. And next thing you know, it's like, and whatever. But oh my God, I laughed so hard. I'm just picturing those poor people sitting by that window, just enjoying a meal with their family. This dude's basically pressing ham.
Oh my God. That's vile and hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, there's some real stories in there too. Like there was these two guys called the Chain Gang, and they were basically acting like they were Hell's Angels, and they had gotten warnings from Hell's Angels basically saying, knock this shit off, quit with it. They were wearing like clothes that said Hell's Angels and stuff to the ring.
You can't do
and
that.
After no, somewhere some bikers came up and were like, hey, come to this bar, we're gonna have a party. And they went, and it was basically they got jumped, and one of the guys got he jumped through a window to get away. And the other guy couldn't get away, got shot in both legs, and basically never wrestled. And just got the shit kicked out of him and never wrestled again. And there's stories where they're talking about how back in those days, heels would literally get so much heat on them that they were getting like threatened, and like people would come up to him. Like Lawler even talks about that, how a dude came up to him after one of the match or when he went to leave, a guy had a brick in his hand, and the guy threw a brick at his car window, and there's way worse than that. Like there were guys that literally got assaulted and shot at and all that, because people bought in so much.
I just want to thank each and every one of y'all. It's still real to me, damn it.
Oh my God, right? It's
funny
still real because
to me, damn it, guy.
Some of those angles, it was like they had to know they were gonna get all the booze, or people might come after them, especially if it had to do with like calling people rednecks or questioning somebody's patriotism or something to that effect, because who boy. So yeah, and then the last thing I got was I watched the first episode of this anime. It's what's it called? Uzumaki, I think it is. It has to do with spirals.
Oh, all right, no, I haven't seen that one.
Apparently it's a I don't know, manga, whatever you call them. And it's really weird and creepy. Like people in this town just start getting obsessed with like spirals. and shit, and kind of worshiping spirals. I've only watched the first episode, but it was very
spirographs just
weird.
come out.
Yes,
that makes sense. The spirographs are sick.
Yeah.
I wish I had one right now.
I know, right? Right. Oh man. Actually, I will say this. The last thing I will say is, if anybody out there is not watching Penguin, you should.
Is it good?
It's very good. You know, like I said, it is very much just a mob show. You know, it happens to use characters that comic book fans are familiar with, but it's a decent like mob show in as well. Colin Farrell's so good in it. It's again, you know, I got to the end of the episode and it shows his name, and I'm just like, how do I keep forgetting that that's who is playing that role? I mean, I know he's in a ton of makeup.
If only it was Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that would be weird as shit. But
I mean, it was weird when he was the Penguin.
Yeah, right. Whatever. I mean, they should have brought, you know, the ghost of Burgess Meredith back.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. So, yeah, how about that, man? This past week, there's been like 1,000 like famous people that have died.
What's going on? The prophecy.
You remember years ago we talked about on the podcast, there was toward the end of the 1 year, and there was like all these celebrities that died, and we're like, holy shit, like what's going on with the Grim Reaper
Death
here?
Pool's
Like
going crazy.
Yeah, must be looking at his quota, going, man, I'm way behind. I gotta, I gotta quit taking the summer off.
I never should have bought Helldivers. So behind on work.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, what am I doing, man? I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
I realized looking at GTA trophies, there's a lot in the single player that I have not done.
They've added a ton in the various little updates that they've added, where they'll add a job, like the one where you deliver pizza now, and there's an achievement for that. So every time they're adding those, there's a little like 3 to 5 achievements.
I was like, God, well, I'm just talking single player though. Oh, you mean you can deliver pizzas in single player?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
That's in the single player game, it's like buy a cab company and have like X amount of successful rides. I'm like, I never did that.
Yeah,
I never did. So I'm kind of itching to play it again. I might have to re-download it.
Yeah. Well, and then like I said, online there's a lot of little ones too, like deliver 50 pizzas and stuff like that.
50 pizzas in my fucking face. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should probably do QoftheW, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Last week we asked everybody, what is a superpower that sounds good but is actually bad?
You mean a superpower that superheroes might have?
Superheroes have superpowers. Yeah. Well, the people on Instagram only have the power to like, so I guess we'll go over to Facebook. It's cool. It's cool, guys. Okay. It's all right.
Right.
Well, we don't have too many answers over here, but we do have a few. Diamond Top fan Kiki, she says mind control. Controlling others' minds would be cool and could be beneficial, i.e. hostage situations, people trying to commit harm to themselves, but it raises significant ethical concerns and could lead to a lack of genuine relationships and trust. Just watch
Very true.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica. Yeah. Oh man, seriously. There's been well, I mean, I'm way behind in comics, but there's been a decent amount of comics where they've done that too, where you know, somebody will mind control somebody to like help them basically, or they'll just mind control them and then kind of like, hey, I did this to make you happy and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, you fucking violated my mind.
Man.
You know? Like it really goes after the ethical side of it, because that is 100% true. If you really start fucking with people's minds, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you could just be like Jean Grey and Professor X and just, you know, do it whenever you want, but pretend like you're, you know, careful about it.
Like, I'm actually playing Sudoku. No way I'm messing with your memories. No way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Diamond Top fan, Big Dev, he says invisibility.
Yeah.
And then Valerie, she says cool. X-ray vision.
Yeah, I can understand that too, because that could be super creepy.
Exactly. I mean, hey, what?
Yeah, that's why you buy those glasses
Hell
out of the back
yeah,
of the
with
funny
the
books, right?
Uzumakis on the lenses. There
Yeah,
you
you're
go.
right.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Tell you, the only complaint I have about that show is that it's another one that's subtitled. It's like I really want to watch the animation, and I'm getting caught up in reading the subtitles at times. So I'm kind of darting my eyes back and forth a little
I
bit.
have a
So that I
hard
can,
time with anime that's not been dubbed for that reason, because I want to look at like the beauty of the scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, especially like this, because some of the stuff that's drawn in it is kind of meant to add to the tension and kind of creep you out a little bit, and it's like, now I got to read this real quick. Hold on. There's a couple times I had to pause it so I could read the whole thing and then jump back up,
fair enough.
Like kind of pulls you back just a fuzz on it, But we got from our pal Garrett. He says X-ray vision. He said, I can see through that wall, but also accidentally gave everyone in the room cancer. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're worried about that kind of thing. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at the emails here again real quick. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything from a certain Cheeto Bandito.
Son of a gun.
I even texted him, so
I'm so sad.
he better be saving the planet or something.
Be saving the planet.
So yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, once again, I forgot to look for more. So 1 through 3.
Oh, I guess we'll go 2. Yeah.
2. All right. What's one fear you've overcome, and how did you do it?
Oh man, what's one fear I've overcome, and how did I do it? I would say I'm not super like lovey-dovey of heights, but I used to really not like heights, and then I got a job where I had to be. I was working in a refinery.
Yeah.
I had to.
You were high,
man. Up in the pipe fields,
literally.
man.
Oh, no, I just meant your last name.
So it's
yeah, because you've never heard that joke before. Never.
So it's pretty wild what a little money and not wanting to let down the rest of my team will do to motivate you. And I just kind of got over it. It was weird. I mean, I don't know.
It's weird how that works with a lot of it, right? That's why exposure therapy works for some people. Is whatever it is, like, if you just like those people at Stuckey's.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking about, when like Maury would have someone dress up as a giant chicken,
Yeah. There's therapists out there that used to have people like go, like if a guy was shy to women, he'd have to like stand in the mall and compliment like every woman that walked by, kind of a thing. Or they'd have him do like to really just push you outside your, or if you had trouble like with public or whatever, they'd have you just like sing in a mall or, just do something to where you really are outside of your comfort zone type of situation.
In a mall. Maybe I need to get over it.
Yeah.
My fear
nobody
of mall
needs to hear me singing. Yeah, right. It is my number one fear.
Terrifying.
I'll do anything. Just don't make me sing in a mall.
Well, it's too bad for that. How about yourself, my guy?
Man, I was trying that because I've for sure let fear dictate too much of my life, actually. But trying to think of one I really got over. It's gonna sound kind of weird, probably, but I used to, like, when I was a kid, it was always my job to take the trash out, and I did not like being outside at night.
Oh, fair enough.
Like, I always felt like there was danger out there. Now, looking back, I've been diagnosed with a form of agoraphobia and those kind of things, and anxieties and different stuff. So there are things like that that can kind of play into that. But as a kid, it was just, I think it was like, I was so obsessed on that someone was going to get me, basically, or there was some evil out there. And I don't think it was like movie based. I think it was more hearing people talk about you know how people are always like, this neighborhood's gone to shit, right? And really, the neighborhood we grew up in was
was absolutely fine.
It really wasn't. Yeah, it really wasn't. I mean, there was probably people that, you know, did crimes and shit around us, but it wasn't really, you know. But anyway, I used to go out our back door, grab the garbage, run to the front yard, and run back and come back inside. I did that for years. And years and years. Now, when I take the trash out, I casually stroll out there. I look up at the clouds and the moon.
Yeah, dude, I love being outside at night. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think what it became was I finally, like when my sister lived here, I really embraced, like she'd go outside and smoke a cigarette, and I'd just go outside and kind of stand around. We'd bullshit for a few minutes or whatever, kind of look up at the stars and whatever. And then when she moved out, I was still kind of doing that myself. And then I think it was that I was out there enough that I was just like, oh, is there a chance something that could happen to me? Of course. But the chance is...
it could always happen in the daytime, too.
Exactly. It's, like you learn in therapy. It's just like you assess the situation. Am I in danger right now? Or am I safe? And it's like, I'm safe. I mean, do you know what I think made part of the difference for me, too? Is cell phones. Yeah. Because I take my phone out with me just in case something goes. And it's not just that. It's also like in the event that, like, if I see somebody breaking into someone's house, I can take a picture or a video or, whatever. But I think part of that is that's my safety blanket.
Right.
That comes out with me. If something goes sideways, I have a phone. I can call the police or I can, record
whatever. Those sweet titties through the curtain.
Yeah. I mean, that's most of it. But
Yeah. See, I honestly would have thought, because you're a night owl, that the nighttime is the right time kind of thing.
Yeah. I love the peace and the serenity of it. But like when you're watching a horror movie and everything's a little too quiet, like that's right. What I think a lot of it was my brain, when there wasn't a problem, my brain looks for the next thing. Right. That's how I've lived a lot of my life, is if there's something's not going bad, I'm like, there clearly is something right around the corner bad. And I've worked really hard to not have that attitude anymore. I try really hard to be more positive about life, but for years and years and years. And I think a lot of that developed when I was a child. And it, got a real good grip on me, obviously, to where I'm running from the back of my house to take the trash out. It's like, I'm not really in any danger. Also, for most of those years, the neighbors we had a big dog. So there's probably not a great chance somebody was going to really do much, because that dog could jump the fence, and did a couple of times.
I thought you were just doing trash man wind sprints.
No, I mean, I was. The worst part was like if we forgot 1 week or something, now the next week you got like 6 bags. Now I got to do, those runs where you run to one end and you touch the ground, you run to the other side and touch the ground. Like I was basically doing those. See, if trash had gone out more, I would have been in better shape.
Right, for sure.
My cardio would have been crazy.
I mean, there's times definitely like when if I can't sleep, I'll just go out on my back deck, because I like going out at night too.
Yeah. Now, see, on something like that, like here, going out on the deck doesn't bother me, because it's weird, because even though somebody could still shoot you, like me, because it's still right by the street, but it's like that still feels safe. That feels like part of the house.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But if you were like, hey, go sit down on the curb or just stand out in the parking lot that's right outside my house, I'd be like, I'm
going to need you to get by that weird van.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, the one that says totally not a creep.
Exactly, right.
It says Salty Language Podcast. And it can be found at saltylanguage.com, along with all the other links for the podcast and what have you. So go check out all those. Check out tangentboundnetwork.com, the network we're part of. Please check out the other shows there. Or if you're needing a home for your podcast, go talk to them. And if you happen to talk to Mark, what do you got for Mark this week?
Oh, man.
Tell him quit chasing me at night.
Yeah, exactly. Stop slowly but menacingly walking towards Brian as he's trying to take care of his trash.
Seriously. Like, I'm not as fast as I used to be,
Come on, man.
I got a bad knee now. I'm 45 or 46. You know, like I can't do the wind sprints
no more
anymore.
trash man wind.
I got stairs in the way.
No more trash man wind sprints.
Yeah. I get done. I'm running back in. I hit the top of the steps. I'm doing the Rocky thing.
Getting strong.
There's like 5 steps.
That's funny.
Oh, man. Yeah, if you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find the show on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on various socials at Stu.
You can find me on the Instagram at dmonotony or at Salty Language on TikTok. Patreon.com/saltylanguage. If you're a listener and you like us, throw us $3 if you want. We're going to be talking mad shit later tonight about something I don't know about. But we try to put up a extra mini episode, sometimes almost a full-length episode per week. So if you like our sultry, sexy voices, throw us a couple shekels. Or just go to the Patreon anyway. There is some free stuff there as well. Yeah. Brian, what else you got going on?
I have another podcast that actually we haven't recorded in a while now. We just talked about it today, so we're going to be recording tomorrow or Friday. It's called The Crazy Life, and we usually talk about things like the garbage wind sprints, like, and how that affected me and how I've, talked in therapy and done things or just done things on my own to help with that. So we do talk about mental health issues, things we experience. Henno talks about alcoholism and recovery sometimes, or, just stuff like that. So if you're into that, please give us a listen. Yeah. And I guess that's it for that. So until next week, have a non-alcoholic beer.
Sure,
you'll be fine.
Or have an alcohol, whatever. Have whatever you want. I'm not going to dictate your life, man.
I'm just trying to support my boy. Jeez, man, quit harshing my positivity.
Yeah. But no, seriously, stay salty, everybody.